Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to Little Hands Homeschooling YouTube channel. In this video, you will learn all about Hajj. Let's start. Starting with the 5 pillars of Islam. The first one is Shahada, means say that God is one. Second one is Salah, namaz, 5 times a day. Third one is Zakat, to help the poor and needy, what you have more than your needs. Fourth one is fasting in the month of Ramadan. And the fifth one is Hajj. The 5 pillars of Islam are 5 duties that are expected to every Muslim. The Hajj is the 5th pillar. Hajj begins on the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah, the last month of the Islamic year, and ends on the 13th day. About 2 million people perform the Hajj each year. What is Hajj in Islam? The Hajj is the pilgrimage or religious journey every adult Muslim must make to the holy city of Makkah in Saudi Arabia. It must be performed at least once in a Muslim's lifetime. Hajj literally means heading to a place for the sake of visiting. In Islam, it pertains to the journey to Kabah, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the holy city of Makkah in Saudi Arabia. Now the question is, who is eligible to perform Hajj? The condition of being physically and financially capable of doing the Hajj is called istita'a, and a Muslim who achieves this state is called a Muzdaifa. Let's guide a brief history of Hajj. The current practice of Hajj was founded by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the last prophet of Allah. However, based on the Quran, fundamental elements of Hajj are patterned after the time of Prophet Ibrahim. Based from the customs of Islam, God asked Prophet Ibrahim to leave his family alone in the desert of ancient Makkah. Due to thirst, his wife Hajar hopelessly ran 7 times between the 2 hills of Safa and Marwa, but was unable to find a water source. He saw her son Ismail digging with his leg, and a water fountain emerged underneath his foot. Afterwards, Prophet Ibrahim, together with Ismail, was ordered to build the Kabah and encourage the people to perform the pilgrimage there. Let's discuss step by step Hajj rites. First one is Ihram. When pilgrims are about 6 miles from Makkah, they enter a state of holiness and purity known as Ihram. While in Ihram, men wear 2 white sheets that are wrapped around their bodies. Women traditionally wear long white robes, but their faces and hands must remain covered. Pilgrims do not cut their hair or nails while they are in a state of ihram. Other bad activities like killing animals, bad language, quarreling and fighting, etc., are also forbidden. Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik. This talbiya is repeatedly invoked during the Hajj or pilgrimage upon putting on Ihram, so the pilgrims can purify and rid themselves of worldly concerns. It means, "Here I am, God, at your service. Oh God, here I am." First day of Hajj takes place on 8th of Dhul Hijjah. Upon entering Makkah, pilgrims walk 7 times, that is called tawaf, around the sacred shrine called the Kabah in the great mosque known as the Al-Masjid Al-Haram. They kiss or touch the black stone, that is called hajjrites. After tawaf, 2 rakah prayers are offered at the place of Ibrahim, Maqam Ibrahim. This is also followed by sa'i, wherein pilgrims run or walk 7 times between the hills of Safa and Marwa, and that is called sa'i. After reciting the morning prayer known as the Fajr, believers go to Mina, a place near Makkah, 8 kilometers away, that is also known as Tent City, where they spend the rest of the day. The next day, they proceed to Arafat. Second day of Hajj takes place on the 9th Dhul Hijjah, also known as the day of Arafat, which marks the day of Hajj. Muslims reach a barren land about 20 kilometers east of Makkah, called the Mount Arafat. Is also known by its Arabic name, Jabal Arafat, Jabal Rahman, the site of the Prophet Muhammad's last sermon. This is where pilgrims ask God's forgiveness, standing before God from noon till sunset. Muzdaifa. After sunset, Muslims proceed to Muzdaifa, an open area near Makkah. Spends a night in the plain of Muzdaifa. They pray and they also pick up pebbles that will be used for the next day's ritual of the stoning of the devil named Shaitan. They usually picked 49 to 70 pebbles. Third day of Hajj occurs on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, where pilgrims spend the night at Mina. Rami al-Jamarat. Back in Mina, Muslims perform symbolic stoning of the devil by throwing stones at 3 pillars known as the Jamarat al-Aqaba. Eid al-Adha. The pilgrims then shave their heads, perform a ritual of animal sacrifice, and celebrate the 3-day global festival of Eid al-Adha, the second big festival celebrated by all the Muslims of the world in Islam. Eid al-Adha honors the willingness of Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his son Ismail alayhi salam as an act of obedience to God's command. Before Ibrahim could sacrifice his son, however, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided a lamb to sacrifice instead. After celebrating Eid al-Adha, on the next day they go back to the sacred mosque for tawaf al-ifada and sa'i again and spend the night back at Mina. On 4th, 5th, 6th day of Hajj, that is 11th, 12th and 13th Dhul Hijjah, Hajis perform Rami, each day throwing 7 pebbles on each of the 3 pillars before going back to Makkah, before sunset of 12th Dhul Hijjah. Lastly, before leaving Makkah, Muslims do a farewell tawaf known as tawaf al-wadaa. They go around the Kabah 7 times in a counterclockwise motion while attempting to kiss or touch the Kabah. This last tawaf marks the completion of their Hajj. May the Almighty accept all your prayers. That was all about Hajj, a step-by-step guide to Hajj. Hope you like it and you have learned a lot all about Hajj. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay tuned. Bye bye.